Welcome back, you beautiful mess.
Or welcome in if you just wandered in here by accident. Don't worry, most of us did.
This is chapter 2 of the Sarcastic CareCats, where emotion regulation is optional, but sarcasm is not.
The swamp is still squishy, the cats are still unqualified, and healing? Yeah, that's still a whole thing.
So grab a moss blanket, bite down on your doubt, and let's go. But first,
Like and subscribe, or the swamp sends you daily affirmations in Latin until you emotionally combust. Leave a comment if you're still functioning, or not. We'll take either. Chapter 2: Glitterhoof and the Delusion Bunnies. When rainbows attack, the arrival of Glitterhoof. The sad swamp didn't usually sparkle. In fact, it had a strict no sparkle policy, enforced by moss glares, melancholic frogs, and an ancient sign that read, "Feelings only, glitter optional." The trees murmured affirmations like, "It's okay to not be okay," but only in Latin and only during moonless nights. So when a rainbow cracked the sky like a motivational slap, shimmering across the fog like a self-help slogan on a mug, the sarcastic CareCats knew something unnatural was afoot. There, standing atop a heart-shaped rock like an emotional traffic violation, was Glitterhoof, the unicorn of weaponized optimism. His mane glittered like it had been cursed by a craft store having an identity crisis. His horn shimmered in 17 aggressive shades of pink, each shouting a different version of, "Just be happy." A slight wind blew, and his tail left a faint trail of glitter that smelled like vanilla-scented denial. And worst of all, he smiled,
oh no.
whispered Kitty, adjusting the storm cloud above her head for maximum gloom aesthetic.
It's him.
Mordekitten narrowed his eyes, tail twitching.
Glitterhoof.
He growled, voice low with dread and caffeine withdrawal.
What brings your relentless cheer to our emotionally complex swamp?
Glitterhoof beamed, tossing his head. "Darlings, I've come to cleanse your chakras, zooze your auras, and absolutely flood your hearts with relentless joy and artisanal confetti. Isn't that, like, divine?"
No,
said Sassburn flatly, her flame-tipped tail sparking.
that sounds like emotional colonization with extra glitter fallout.
Doompaws groaned from under his emotional support cape.
If he starts humming again, I'm sinking myself into the mud and I'm never coming out.
Gloompurse sighed, black rose vines curling around her tail. "I had to write a tragic ballad about him once. It came out sounding like a motivational poster. I've never recovered." Gremlin gagged.
His aura smells like a Pinterest board having a nervous breakdown.
Invasion of the Delusion Bunnies. And then they arrived. From the bushes hopped a dozen fluffy creatures with unblinking eyes and permanent smiles painted on like denial. The Delusion Bunnies, dressed in pastel vests, armed with glitter cannons and consentless positivity. Their presence made the swamp grass twitch. Even the frogs rolled their eyes. They sang in unsettling harmony, high-pitched, breathy, perfectly in sync, like an influencer flash mob summoned by a scented candle.
The
The
world
world's
is
perfect,
happy,
don't you
don't
cry.
cry, just
Just
celebrate and
celebrate and
smile,
smile,
or you
or
might
you might
die.
die. The swamp itself whimpered. Grenlin hissed, clutching her broken spoon wand.
I swear to the boys, if they rhyme again, I'm eating one. I like the taste of bunnies.
Doompaw's gagged again.
I think my soul just rolled its eyes twice.
Catatonic tilted his head.
Are they rhyming their gaslighting? That's advanced.
Glitterhoof pranced closer, each step a miniature musical number. Honestly, babes, they believe sadness is like so last season. Anger? Just bad vibes blues. One group hug, a turmeric latte, and boom! Emotional glow up. Sespresso twitched. I've had caffeine crashes that were more emotionally authentic. Crankleclaw growled from a moss perch. They tried to fix me once. I passive aggressively levitated their essential oils into the swamp. Anxiety backed away, clutching a laminated emergency boundaries card. If one of them touches me, I will detonate. That is not a metaphor. Salt Shadow materialized. They don't even feel their feelings. They outsource them to Pinterest quotes. Defending the swamp's soul. Mordekitten stepped forward, his fur bristling.
You have entered the swamp of sorrow, Glitterhoof. Here, we honor the complexity of pain. We don't bypass it with glitter and platitudes. We feel it, we name it, we scream it into the moss about it. We scream into the moss about it.
Glitterhoof blinked. So, no vision board party? No full moon affirmation circle with cucumber infused vulnerability juice? Salt Shadow emerged behind him. No, only reckoning. One of the bunnies held up a glittery pamphlet entitled, Hurt is a choice, silly. Gremlin leapt on it like a feral TED Talk speaker mid-meltdown.
This is a safe space for people who don't feel safe!
The bunnies scattered. One tripped over Joy. Another dropped a satchel of unauthorized, inspirational quotes. A third sprinkled glitter on a crying mushroom. It did not help. Guttermeow rose from his trash pile throne. Dude, hope is like a gateway drug to disappointment. Trust no rainbow. Preparing for battle. The fog thickened. The moss recoiled. Somewhere, a violin played itself. Mordekitten took a breath.
They want to smother us in positivity. We'll remind them that real healing includes rage, sorrow, and ugly crying in a rainstorm.
Anxiety nodded. We're the We're the swamp therapists that no one asked for, but desperately need. Sassburn ignited, tail crackling.
Then let's go ruin some denial.
Cataclysm floated nearby, leaking chaos. I am ready to implode on command. Gloompur adjusted her mourning shawl. Let them feel the poetry of despair. The CareCats stepped forward one by one, a wall of fur, fury, and emotional boundaries. Glitterhoof's horn flickered nervously. Even he sensed it now. The swamp was not his to save. The battle lines were drawn.
So that just happened.
Emotional glitter. Talking mushrooms. Bunnies with boundary issues. You know, just another day in the swamp.
If your nervous system feels like it's been hugged and drop kicked at the same time, same. Very same.
We made it through chapter 2, mildly altered, slightly fermented, still vaguely functional.
Healing doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like screaming into a moss pillow and calling it growth.
But hey, at least the frogs believe in you. Next time, things might get weirder. Probably wetter. Definitely more emotionally specific.
Until then, be kind to your weird, and if the glitter gets too loud, you know where the swamp is.
Please like, subscribe, and comment, or we'll send a moist, emotional support frog to sit at the foot of your bed and say affirmations until you cry.